Hey, 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 welcome to Studio Classroom on the air. Your English will improve. Today, my name is Gabe, and we are starting out the month of August with a travel article. Often people travel to another country by plane. Cruises are also still popular, but what about once you get to your travel destination country? How do you travel within that country? The name of today's lesson is Riding the Rails European Style. Now, perhaps you could rent a car to get around, but sometimes you're not allowed to drive that car into another country close by. The great thing about traveling to Europe is that the train systems make it super easy to go from one country to another. You can see Europe with a Eurail pass. Let's find out what makes the Eurail pass so special and popular right now.
Riding the Rails, European Style. See Europe by train with a Eurail pass. Europe offers amazing scenery, and much of it is connected by rail. For that reason, many travelers insist that a Eurail pass is the best way to go. Eurail is the brand name of a train pass that can be purchased and used only by non-European residents. Passes for varying lengths of time can be used to travel to 40,000 destinations in 31 countries. My parents experienced the convenience of a Eurail pass as they traveled through 8 countries in 3 weeks. They loved the ease of simply getting on the train and showing their passes.
Friends, let's get right into our lesson today. Riding the Rails European Style. And I know for a fact that Rebecca has been to Europe before. Tell me, Rebecca, how did you get around and where did you go?
Well, that's a great question. I actually went to Europe with my family. We went to Switzerland, right? But then on the weekends, we would take like little road trips to different countries, some of the surrounding countries. But let me tell you, we did not go the European style. We didn't travel the European style. We traveled the Brittingham style. We had this van, 5 kids all in the back seat, mom and dad in the front, and then we didn't stay in a hotel during the night. Oh no, definitely not. We slept in our car.
You did?
Oh yes, this is the Brittingham style of traveling around Europe.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is one way to travel Europe. When I went by train part of the time, and also we rented a car, but we didn't sleep in the car. That would be a very different experience indeed. Friends, what about you? Have you been to Europe? How did you get around? Or how will you get around when you travel there? We read here, you can see Europe by train with a Eurail pass.
Yes, indeed. And we read Europe offers amazing scenery, and much of it is connected by rail. And of course, when you talk about this word rail, you're referring to by train, right? So when you're on the train, you can see a lot of this beautiful and amazing scenery.
Exactly. So these tracks go all over Europe, right? The rails are all over Europe. For that reason, many travelers insist that a Eurail pass is the best way to go. Well, before we continue, let's take a look at that phrase at the end of that sentence. It's a fun, good, useful phrase. The best something way to go, or the something way to go. You can use another adjective there, okay? And so this is just talking about the way or the method that you do something.
For example, when traveling back to the States, flying is the way to go. Of course, you can take a boat if you wanted to, but that would take a really long time. So I recommend flying.
Flying is the way to go. You can use this phrase to talk about things other than just going places. So, for example, maybe you're talking about watching a movie. Well, someone wants to watch a movie on TV, but you think, oh, no, I think we should watch it with my computer. Using my computer is the way to go. That's what we should do. We should stream something online. So you could use this phrase in different situations.
That's right, and it's a great phrase for you to know, so practice using it. Eurail is the brand name of a train pass that can be purchased and used only by non-European residents. So, of course, if you're a non-European resident, that means it's anybody who does not reside in Europe permanently.
And I was a little surprised to read this because my wife and I went on our honeymoon. We purchased a Eurail pass, and so, of course, we were non-European residents. But I saw a lot of Europeans on those trains, and so I think there are other ways to get tickets for those same trains, right? You can go online. There's the Interrail in Europe. But yes, Eurail pass, like we read here, is for non-European residents. Passes for varying lengths of time can be used to travel to 40,000 destinations in 31 countries. And that is quite a lot more than I had imagined.
40,000 destinations in 31 countries.
That's great.
Yeah, and it sounds like it could be a very convenient way of getting around Europe, right? Well, we read, my parents experienced the convenience of a Eurail pass as they traveled through 8 countries in 3 weeks.
Well, we need to look at something from that sentence. The convenience of something. You use this to talk about the way that something is. It's convenient, right? The convenience of. You could rephrase this sentence. My parents experienced how convenient it can be with a Eurail pass.
Exactly. Or you could also say, here in Taipei, we get to enjoy the convenience of the MRT or just public transportation in general, because public transportation is very convenient in Taipei.
And you see this same phrase in the next sentence, right? But the word convenience is replaced with ease. They loved the ease of simply getting on the train and showing their passes. Perhaps they had to show their ticket. Do we have a phrase about a ticket in the info cloud?
That's the ticket.
Let's go to the info cloud.
Hello and welcome to InfoCloud. My wife and I have had a busy summer, so we decided that taking a weekend holiday is just the ticket.
Wait, so what kind of tickets did you get? I'm guessing you'll do the high-speed rail if it's just for a weekend.
Actually, just the ticket here refers to our choice being the right decision. It's not literally about tickets.
You know, I've also heard people say that's the ticket when someone makes the right choice or does exactly what's needed.
Right. If we're having a big meeting and need to set up chairs, I might suggest that we get some more help setting up.
I could say, that's the ticket, meaning Joe's suggestion is exactly what we need to do.
But in my earlier example about a weekend holiday, I said it's just the ticket.
So you're telling the listener that you think it's just what you need to unwind after being busy.
Exactly, Rex. Now, the origin of this phrase is a little debated.
Some believe that it comes from a French phrase meaning the proper course of action.
Others say it more likely refers to a winning lottery ticket. Either way, it tells the listener some action is just what's needed.
Welcome back to Studio Classroom. I do like traveling around Europe. For part of my wife and my honeymoon, we went to Europe. We took a train from Amsterdam all the way down to the southeastern part of Germany, rented a car for a few days, and then took another train up to Prague in the Czech Republic and back to Amsterdam. In fact, we used a Eurail pass, something that we had bought in advance. Friends, we have more to learn about this Eurail pass, traveling through Europe, European style. Let's learn more about that right now.
Riding the rails, European style. How can you get a Eurail pass? You can buy it in Europe, but it's more expensive. It's better if you order it before you arrive and have it mailed to your home, office, or hotel. You can choose the length of time that you want the pass to be valid. It's not necessary, though, to state exactly when your travel will begin. You take care of that at the train station before you embark on your first train trip. After that, just sit back and enjoy beautiful landscapes from the comfort of your seat.
We continue with our lesson here, friends. We're learning about the experience that the author Pam Osmond's parents had as they went through 8 different countries with a Eurail pass. Now, here we have a question. How can you get a Eurail pass, Rebecca?
Well, our lesson says you can buy it in Europe, but it's more expensive. It's better if you order it before you arrive and have it mailed to your home, office, or hotel. So, would you say that it's safe to say that it's best to buy this pass in advance?
Yes. That is a great phrase you mentioned, Rebecca.
Okay.
It does not appear in our lesson, of course, but that's the idea. To purchase something in advance. That is to get it before you arrive at a certain place or arrive at the place where you need to use it.
For example, this month, the Lion King musical is actually playing here in Taipei. However, if you want to see it, you really needed to buy tickets in advance because they're definitely selling out. The tickets are selling out.
And that is a great example. So friends, think of another way to use that phrase, to do something in advance. Of course, when you're making a reservation at a restaurant, that is booking a table in advance before you get to the restaurant. Okay, well, we continue here. Yes, it is cheaper to get something in advance, to get this Eurail pass in advance. You can choose the length of time that you want the pass to be valid. That is, if something is valid, that means that's the time that you can use it, that is okay to be used. Because after that period, when it expires, you can no longer use it. It's not valid anymore.
So it seems like you can choose the length of time. However, our lesson says it's not necessary, though, to state exactly when your travel will begin. So perhaps it's necessary to say how long you want the pass to last for, but you don't need to specifically say at one point in time you're going to start your traveling.
And that's the way it was for my wife and I when we went to Europe, because we purchased a Eurail pass for a whole year. It would last a whole year. However, it didn't start until the first day that we used the Eurail pass.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
Right.
So that
exactly.
determines when it starts. So I forget what day it was, maybe December 31st or something. That means we had until the next year, December 31st, to use up that Eurail pass.
Okay. And then how long could you use your Eurail pass? Was it like for 2 weeks, or was it for 3 weeks, or was it for an entire year?
It was for the entire year. However, there was another condition, right? We could only travel to a certain amount of countries or a certain amount of times within that year. So it's not like we could just keep traveling everywhere we wanted within the year. I think it was like 6 trips or so, or 6 days within the year.
Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a great example. We continue on here. You take care of that at the train station before you embark. What do you take care of? Well, you get to decide when you're going to travel, what time you're going to travel, the dates. That is what you decide at the train station before you embark on your first train trip.
And after that, what do? You just sit back and enjoy beautiful landscapes from the comfort of your seat. Sometimes we use a phrase, sit back, relax, and enjoy your ride, or sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. You see those words sit back in our sentence here. That is the idea of making yourself comfortable.
That's right. Or sometimes you'll hear the phrase, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You know, maybe you went to a movie theater, or you're seeing a production of some sort, and after they give you all the instructions and tell you what to do or what not to do, they'll say, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
And it's true. You've just heard Rebecca and I also add the word relax there. That's just kind of a common phrase. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the SC travel today with David Morton. Where are we going to go? Let's find out.
Welcome back to SC Travel, everybody. Tell me, have you ever heard of Lisbon? This city in Portugal is a top destination for people who use the U-Rail train system. So, I'm going to show you what makes this place so special. First, start with some pastéis de nata and coffee at a local cafe. If that yummy treat looks familiar, that's because it is. Many people call it an egg tart, and it's a Portuguese specialty. Next, step back in time at the Carmo Convent ruins and learn about one of the deadliest earthquakes in history. In 1755, Lisbon was nearly destroyed. This beautiful structure is a shocking reminder of how fragile life is. For another shocking experience, head over to the Electricity Museum. This place used to be an old coal-burning power plant, but now it's a science museum, an art space, and more. Next, go sightseeing on the iconic Tram 28. This old tram has been rattling along the streets of Lisbon for decades, so it's quite a landmark. Now, all these things are great to see, but what's good to eat in Lisbon? 2 words, peixe grelhado. That means grilled fish in Portuguese, and it's one of the most popular traditional foods. Actually, Portugal is a seafood paradise, and many places have a whole variety of fish that you can try. Try a polvo a lagarero if you're feeling bold. But if you're not so crazy about seafood, don't worry. The bifana is a simple, delicious pork sandwich that always hits the spot. I'm afraid we must say goodbye for now. But be sure to come back for the next stop on our exciting City adventure. Ciao!
You know what? Whether you're traveling to Lisbon, Portugal, or Spain, or somewhere else in Europe, try to learn a few of the languages of that country where you're traveling. When I was on a train in Germany, one of the cars broke down, and it's a good thing I understood this word. Someone said, kaputt. That means broken. Then I knew we had to get on to another car. Friends, it is good to learn a little bit of the languages for different places. Well, next time we're going to learn more about the Eurail Pass and who should take advantage of it. So come back then right here to Studio Classroom.